Flatwoods monster. So I'm going to get started here and start working on the base, and I'm going to tell a little bit about the story. Like most cryptids, it's people thinking they spotted something with a whole lot of skepticism, and nobody saw it too well. But first of all, I'm going to try to condition this a little more. I got a pretty good head start on it. Conditioning clay is one of the hardest things, and warming it up. Also, I reset my audio stuff. I'm still learning how to use the microphone, the camera, and the setup. But hopefully it'll be a little better this time. I won't be quite as quiet. I reset most of my audio, and hopefully the sounds of putting stuff down isn't quite as loud this time. So, I'll learn to improve as I go, but I did some test runs, and I think the audio's a lot better this time. But we will see when I finish. This is good enough. Alright, as always, if you make a huge thick thing of clay, it won't bake all the way through. So, what I usually do is I take aluminum foil and I make a very simple base. So we're going to start with that. And today's monster is very unusually shaped. We'll talk a little bit about it in a second, but I'm going to try to finish up this base first. And then I'll start telling you a bit about the story that I was reading. And I already did choose the eyes that I want to use. These are just cheap glass, like, I think they're called cabochons or something, I don't remember. But they're just little, simple half-circle glass pieces with paper on the back. But they work well for eyes. They aren't quite accurate to the creature, but I have a reason for the eyes that I chose. And I will explain that, but they're very owlish, so... As always, I'm taking a little artistic liberty. But most cryptids, there's a lot of discrepancy in how they're portrayed, so I feel well within my rights to do that. Okay. Oops, I didn't mean to hit the camera. Hopefully the noise of crumpling aluminum foil won't be quite as egregiously loud as it was last time. I know last time it was a little obnoxious, and unfortunately when I added the audio filters, I noticed it distorts my voice as well as silencing this noise. So I won't talk a whole lot, that's why I'm going to try to get this base done, because you can't really hear me talking over this. Perfect. I think this is a good base to start with. As you can tell, he's very cone-shaped with a big round head. So, alright. So today's monster is the Flatwoods monster. It's also known as the Braxton County monster, or Braxton for short. Kind of like Mothman, it is... Mothman's the more popular West Virginia cryptid, but it's another West Virginia cryptid. And there's an interesting story, as with most. It was first supposedly spotted in 1952. There were two kids. I actually don't know if they were children. I know some of the other people involved were children, but there were two related guys. They were named Edward and Fred and May, and they had a friend with them named Tommy. And They looked up in the sky and they saw some sort of falling light. It looked like the light was falling into a local farmer's field. The man had the name Fisher. I don't recall his first name. I did write myself some of the names down because I kept forgetting everyone's name. But even with that, I forgot to write his first name down. But they saw a light crash into a field somewhere. They ran home to another lady named Kathleen, and I think two children tagged along. Their last names I did write down. It was Nunley, because I remember thinking that was a weird name, and Shaver. And then there was a guardsman by the name of Eugene Lemon. And they told him the story. They saw some huge light in the sky and it fell into a farmer's field nearby. So they went out to go and try to hunt down whatever this was. Interestingly enough, my first introduction to the Flatwoods Monster was not through this story, nor through living in West Virginia. It was through a video game. If you've ever played Majora's Mask, you'll know that there's this really weird alien level, I guess, that's very odd because Majora's Mask is like a, most of Legend of Zelda it's a very, I guess, fantasy, quirky, sort of medieval type fantasy. To have a weird random UFO type alien show up is very strange. But if you played Majora's Mask, there is a level with a very oddly shaped alien. And when I saw the Flatwoods Monster, because I looked up this story and I was reading, the artist depictions of how they portrayed its appearance, I was like, wow, that looks exactly like the one in Majora's Mask. And as it turns out, apparently it's a pretty popular portrayal of aliens. And I had no idea it came from West Virginia, but yeah, it's very distinct. If you've ever played the game, you know exactly the design I'm talking about because it's a very oddly shaped monster. Anyway, so this group of people, Kathleen May, Edward May, Fred May, a boy named Tommy Heyer, two other kids, Nunley and Shaver, and then the guardsman, Eugene, I believe his last name was Lemon, all decided to go hunting down whatever it was that fell from the sky that was lit up. And it was dark. I think they said it was 7 o'clock at night. It was on September 12th, I believe, 1952. So they went to hunt it down. And they got to a hill, I believe it was. And there was this flashing red light that one of the kids saw in the distance. So they went up to that hill, assuming that it would be up there. And when they got up there, the guardsman shined his flashlight up, or shone, I guess, his flashlight up on the hill, and saw a tall, dark, man-like figure with a round red face and a spade-like head. So it was shaped almost like an ace of spades. Then they heard a hissing noise, and it supposedly flew at them. He dropped his flashlight, screamed, and they all ran. So that was the only sighting of the Flatwoods Monster. Now, there was apparently some discrepancy, because there usually is with cryptids. Some of the people there claimed that it had arms, some people claimed that it didn't have arms. But what they all claimed in unison, I believe, was that it had a round head, glowing eyes, and that it had an odd spade-shaped, spade or pointed-shaped or hood-shaped head or object around its head. And the other thing I believe they agreed on was the fact that it had some sort of pleated skirt. Some of the depictions I saw made it look more metallic, like almost car parts. But they agreed on that. Some of the people claimed that what they saw had small little claw-like talons on the front. Others claimed that it didn't have arms. They saw it in the middle of the night through a flashlight for a few seconds. So like most things, it's like they didn't see it very clearly, but it sparked a whole bunch of stories. And of course, people started looking for it. There was a group of investigators, I don't recall the man's name, but there were some UFO enthusiasts, I guess, something similar to that. They went to go hunting for it, and they found track marks and something else, but this was at a later date. So they went hunting for it. They claimed it was a UFO sighting, but nobody was really sure. Like I said, the depictions vary a little bit, but the most consistent thing is red round face. Some of the things said it had glowing eyes and it was like 10 foot tall. Oddly enough, most depictions make it slightly kind of chunky. I think I'm going to try to make it a little bit more spindly, because I think that sounds cooler. But it has that. It has usually either branch-like or talon-like arms. But like I said, the original sighting, they weren't real sure whether it had arms or not. Some of them said it did, some said that it didn't. And what else was it? The weird shaped head was the big thing. The fact that it had a pointed shaped head like a spade on a card. And then it was folded, some sort of folded skirt or clothing below it. And they always said that it was green, so it had a reddish face, and then everything below it was green. So there's been a lot of theories like, what did they actually see? Prevailing theory is that what they saw was actually a barn owl. Now, there's a lot of different things that kind of go into this story. On the 12th, there apparently was confirmed meteorite sightings. So there were flashing lights in the sky that lots of people saw because there was a meteorite shower. So that's not that unusual that the boys would see something. Now, the fact that they thought it fell into a farm is kind of weird. But the flashing red lights that they saw on the hill, apparently there's some sort of navigation, aircraft navigation stuff and warning beacons or something that were in the area. And most people are like, that's probably what they saw that led them to that hill. And then the talon-like arms, the round face, and then of course the flashing red light in the area on the face of like a barn owl is what usually people think, and that all of the shape of the head is probably just foliage. So there's different theories, but it's actually like a huge thing. I didn't even know it was a thing, but it is a huge thing in Braxton County apparently. You can actually, there's festivals, there's actually a museum, kind of like Mothman. I think there's a Mothman museum too. But there's lots of stuff there related to it. They actually have special chairs, which I thought was kind of funny. But they have special chairs, I think there's 5 of them in the area that are shaped like the monster. But yeah, like most cryptid sightings, very short. Somebody saw something strange for a few seconds and it became a legend. But it is kind of funny that it became such an influential thing that a random video game that I play used the design for the aliens. And I think it's actually popular other places. I think I've seen that type of alien design elsewhere. Anyway, I'm going to try to take the concept of I should have probably done more of this before I started recording. I'm going to try to take the concept of the owl and give it a very owl-like face with that pointed head, because I think that will be more interesting than the standard red-green monster. So I'm going to take a little liberty with it. Try to make it look a little cooler. Maybe a little cutesy, because I tend to do that. But I have some ideas where I want to go with it. I definitely want to suggest the owl interpretation, because I think that'll make it kind of pretty. And also, my personal theory is a lot of times the arms are very branch-like. So I'm going to try to mix like the idea of branches with talons. And as always, the sculpture always looks terrible until you're mostly done. The beginning section is the most boring part to watch. But I kind of wanted a video so people can see every step that goes into creating something like this. My goal long term is to try to create at least one sculpture a month. So that'll be 2 videos. I would love to do more, unfortunately. I am very busy. I do other stuff for my Etsy shop. I finally got materials for that. And as much as I prefer doing these types of things, nobody really buys them, so they don't garner me any income. I'm just doing it for fun. And of course, I'm just starting the channel out again. I had it before, but I'm trying to actually do something with it. so nobody really watches these yet. So I'm more or less doing it because I like to. But I will try to do one sculpture a month. I'm a little late on this month, so I won't get this one painted until later in January. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Alright, let's rip this apart. Sorry if I sound breathless. This is not easy. Because it's getting cold, it's much harder to warm this up. I thought I'd done enough beforehand, but apparently I did not. But yeah, hopefully as I continue to do this, my video recording skills, speaking skills, and so on will be a little better. I know I have a tendency to talk a little too soft and mumble as I continue, so I'm going to try to work on that. And I have a tendency to stumble over my words. Alright, I think that looks okay. Okay. Let's do another patch. This group right now is just to cover the aluminum so we have a good base to work with. His head is getting very misshapen. Okay. So I'm gonna give him an owl-like head, do the pointed thing around it. I think I actually want him to be... I don't know. We'll see. I'm just gonna go with it. We're gonna see how this turns out. One nice thing about clay is it's so forgiving. You can just smash things and start over. You know? Can't do that with a lot of art. Just gotta get a basic base for us to work with. So you don't want your clay to be too thick. Usually I strive for nothing thicker than that. I don't know an actual measurement on that, but I guess that's like 1/4 of an inch, maybe? I don't know. Something like that. Okay. And I know this looks rough, but I'm going to smooth it out as I go and add details. And this, if you ever do something round, this is like the easiest way to smooth it out, is just roll it on a table. Or in this case, I have a big silicone mat. I think this is actually a pastry mat because there's measurements on it. But it's very handy for this. Oh yeah, so measurements. It's got centimeters and inches, so... What is that? I don't understand how they measure stuff on this, but anyway. I'm trying to keep these videos 2 to 3 hours long. That is typically how long it takes me, and I think I'm going to do more of the warming the clay up beforehand, before recording, just so that I don't have to do the boring parts on the video, because I don't think that's very fun to watch, necessarily. I mean, if I were doing a live video and not recording it, it might be a little more enjoyable, because I would have people to talk to, maybe, if I had a following. But for now, I think I should probably not do that. Okay. Yes, it's a very odd looking design. That's why when I looked the monster up, I didn't actually know what it was. I just saw the name. And the instant I saw it, I was like, oh, those are the aliens from Legend of Zelda. And then I found out that they used the design from the American Cryptid. Almost. Alright, I need to grab more clay. That was almost a full block of clay, so that was almost a pound of clay. Not quite, but yeah. These sculptures I like, but they take an awful lot of materials. I noticed a lot of the depictions also had almost a, what's the phrase, a shoulder pad type design, although I didn't see that when I was reading the people's descriptions of it, so I guess they just took artistic license and that just became the way it was portrayed. I think I'm going to do that, but I think I'm going to make it feathered, almost like owl wings, or at least that's my goal. Or furry-ish. I think that would look kind of cool with it. And I'm going to make the head very owl-like. Like, we're going to stick with the yellow eyes. That's why I chose these eyes, because they reminded me of owls. So I think I'm going to stick with the yellow eyes and the red on the face and stuff when I paint it. But I think what I want to do is make it look a little bit owl-like. Add feathers to a couple designs. I don't know how I'm going to do the head yet. The spade shape on the head. Yeah, I haven't decided yet. A lot of times I come up with an idea and then I don't follow it through. So I get some generic ideas of where I want to go and then I just sculpt and do whatever looks best. Almost. But yeah, it's a lot of fun to read about different creatures. I have a lot more planned. I almost changed my plan for today because I found a cute little hollowed out Easter egg at the Goodwill for like a couple dollars. And I so want to paint it and make it like a kobold or a dragon egg. So I'm probably going to do that on a video very soon. That's probably going to be January's video. I don't know quite what I'm gonna do yet. I was thinking about a kobold or a dragon or something, but I was like, no, I didn't have enough of a plan in mind yet, so I decided to go with what my original plan for December was, which was the Flatwoods monster. I almost was gonna do alphabetical through like different monsters and cryptids, but I'd rather just do whatever I feel like instead of sticking to that. Because there aren't enough monsters for certain letters in the alphabet, and there are a ton for others, so. I might do Mothman at some point, just because he's so popular, but I kind of like doing the less popular ones. It's more fun for me, because then there's fewer art pieces on it, and I get to have a little more creative license. Base almost done. I could do it like a feathered headdress now. Maybe I think I should do leaves. The leaves on top. Because that probably is what it was. They probably saw leaves of some kind. So I could stick with that, maybe branches and leaves. I want it to look more fantasy than alien, just because I like to do that. But yeah, if you look up the Flatwoods monster, or Braxy apparently is one of its nicknames, for Braxton County, you can see the traditional portrayals of it. I did almost think about trying to work out wiring LEDs for lit up eyes, but I changed my mind. I decided I'd rather do simple. Because it's complicated to add lights to a sculpture, just because I'm not comfortable with some of the lighting work. You can put wires and stuff in the oven pretty safely, but if they have a coating on them, you can't, as it melts. So I didn't want to deal with that just yet. I might do that soon, because some of the creatures I want to do have lit up eyes. I really want to do that. Alright, I think that's our base. I'm gonna roll him on the edge of the table for a second. Try to smooth out this base part. Okay. Right now it looks like a game token, you know, like a pawn from a board game. I think we're gonna start with the head. I should probably... Yeah. Nah, that's fine. We'll leave the base open just so that if it needs to... air pockets need to escape, they don't explode the clay. That doesn't happen too often, but every once in a while when I do this, there'll be enough of an air pocket trap that it'll bubble out on the side. It doesn't happen much, but I've had it happen I think twice. So, which with the number of things I've made, it's not that bad. But I'm always worried about it, so we'll leave the base open. Alright, so there is our very rough starting point. I think we're gonna put the eyeballs in now. And I can sit down now. Make sure he's balanced. Alright. I think this will be the face, so we're gonna do the eyes here. They didn't really describe a nose, but I'm gonna give him a bit of a beak, I think. I don't want to go too owl-ish, but I think that's a fair interpretation. This clay is so much stiffer during the winter. So much harder to work with. Alright. Okay, put the shadows in the same spot so that it doesn't look too weird. Got his eyes in there. Yes, and if I can make him look cute, I will. Just because it's fun. I don't think I'm gonna do eyelids because the biggest thing is always like big round eyes. It's kind of the emphasis that they always had. But I do think I'm going to try to owl shape the face here. Just a bit. I mean, if you think about it, though, it's pretty fair. If you've ever been around a barn owl, they're pretty scary. I mean, they're beautiful, but their scream sounds like a screaming lady in the middle of the night. They fly completely noiselessly. I remember a couple nights we had a barn owl somewhere in the woods, and it would scream, and you would hear it. It sounded like a lady screaming in the woods. So then I was standing on the porch with my dad one time. It was like pitch black outside. I heard a scream out in the distance. Then it went dead silent. I couldn't hear a thing. Then it was like a minute later, I heard a scream practically in the tree next to us. And then I looked up. I was trying to say, I don't remember if I saw it or not, but I was looking for it. And then a few minutes later, it was way off in the distance again. They fly absolutely silently. It's kind of, it's very surreal. But yeah, I imagine if you saw one of their faces in the middle of the night, that'd be pretty terrifying. I am curious what everyone thinks the hissing noise is. I didn't see too many theories on that, because most of the stuff I think is explained by the owl, but they did say they heard some sort of odd hissing noise, and some of the stories said something about noticing a sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? A sort of mist that smelled odd. So some other people, I think, have theories with, well, maybe it was like a plane crash or a device or a satellite or something, you know. Because there was stuff like that. Or I know some of the UFOs like were weather balloons or something. But I don't know what the hissing noise might have been, unless it was just their imagination. Kind of like a bunch of the people apparently said they felt really nauseated afterward. But if you've ever experienced something like that, you tend to make yourself feel a bit sick. So it's very interesting. I love reading stories like that, because I'm always a skeptic, but I also love traditions and stories. And I've been in moments where you're like really scared about something and maybe not in the clearest frame of mind. So it's very understandable. I think that's why there's so many cryptids. But you'll notice that all the cryptids tend to look similar to something we already know. But yeah, it kind of is strange. Most of the portrayals tend to add almost metallic pieces to this. I'm guessing because later on people were obsessed with the idea that it might be, you know, an alien from outer space or part of a UFO or something like that. I guess I should make the beak more subtle. Now, let's go full on L. I like it. We'll go with this. But yeah, I didn't see anything in the original description that said that it was metallic. But all of the portrayals give him like a shoulder pads or something that are metallic. Almost like armor. Alright. I think that's pretty good for the eyes. We will paint it red. I am going to give him nostrils. Like that. Let's see. So he doesn't have to look exactly bird-like. It's better if he doesn't. Some of the things I believe also said it was like 10 foot tall or something. But one of the things, whenever you have stories like that, and people think about it later, like I've seen situations where someone was scared and they like thought somebody was breaking into their house. It's actually someone I know. And out of panic, they started thinking that it was like two different people and there was all this different stuff that was happening. But then looking back on it, no one else thought that. But it was understandable because they were panicked and they weren't thinking clearly. And that's what happens most of the time. Which is why I think so many cryptid stories get so sensationalized. You know, because either some of them are hoaxes, like the person knows it's fake and they're just lying. And some of them person's just scared, like this one. And they're not sure what they saw, and then you have multiple people feeding into each other's fear and coming up with different explanations and different descriptions. I like that. Let's make the back of this head pretty flat. Okay, so here's the hard part. I don't know how I want to do the headdress piece, but it needs to be fairly large. So we gave him a huge owl face. This may be too owl-like. I might change it, but I think once I add the other details, I can get away with it. But should I make it look like a giant leaf? Most of the portrayals look like a giant leaf head to me. Like he has this giant shape around his head. Hold on, I need more clay. Let me put him aside. Stay put. Alright. Okay. I'll roll this. Okay. Make a U shape. Go around his head. Flatten it a bit. We're gonna cut the edges here. Shape this properly first. Okay. Yeah, it almost looks like a giant leaf, but I don't actually know if there's any native plants that I can think of that have leaves this big. It could also be that maybe it was a smaller thing, like the size of an owl's head, which is still decently large, and that they just exaggerated the size from a distance, you know. When you're scared, you often do that. Alright. He looks like he has a head. But this is actually what the design looks like. Okay, I gotta make these pieces blendable. I'm just not sure what I want to do for this with the pattern. I thought about making it look like feathers, but I don't think I want to do that anymore. I think I want to do the leaves. Or vein design. There's a lot of ones with veins. So I'll stick it like this. So. There we go. Yeah, I might bend the beak down to make more of a nose, just so it doesn't look so much like an owl. Because I feel like he's looking a little too owl-like, although he is pretty cute. I think if I do this, and then just make it flat, like a nose, maybe? So it's kind of like a beak, but also kind of like a nose. None of them have mouths, but I kind of want to give them mouths. Like maybe if I give them a little mouth right here. That way it's kind of beak-like, but also kind of not. It looks more monkey-like. I think I'll do that. I like that. I'll do that. Like this a little more so we go back to the beak depiction. There we go. Alright, let's blend this into the head now. I said I was gonna sit down and I just keep standing. Okay, let's sit down. Finish working on this. He's turning out to be a very cute Flatwoods monster. I don't think he was supposed to be this cute, but this is kind of my signature thing that I do. So, I'm trying to make everything look adorable. That front part blended in. the head needs to be shaped kind of like a spade on a card, or like a pointed hood. Some people seem to have taken that to mean it actually had a hood, but I don't think. Instead, it had a spade-shaped head, so I think the traditional portrayal is more like this. Alright, there we go. And then we gotta blend all of this in. Now I could do patterns like that. I don't know yet. We'll see. I'm not sure what I want to do with this like headdress, head feather leaf thing on its. Alright. Let's see, what else can we do for this? We could make it like a leaf. Like, oh, I know. Let's make some small pieces so you can see where we're going with this. Let's see, there we go. We face them this way, you guys can see it better. Yeah. I am taking artistic license, I know, I always do, but... Alright, let's do this. Yourself some nice thin pieces. We could almost do like leaf veining, maybe. I'm not sure how I want to go about doing this, but if I did something like this... pieces. So we can start like leaf patterns maybe. Problem is they always end up looking very uniform whenever I do these. I try really hard to make them not look uniform, but they always end up being way too symmetrical. Go, let's do another one this direction. Yeah, I think the problem is I think too much about where I'm putting them, and then they end up looking way too studied instead of intentional, instead of random. But we're getting there, we're getting there. It's gonna take me a little bit. Let's do that. And I will blend them in better. I just want to get them all on here first, and I'll kind of smash them in. To be rather unceremonious about it, I will smash them into the design and then smooth them out. Let's do a little tiny one. I'm trying to print my pencil, not a piece of clay. We're getting there. I like that. It's very leaf-like. I wonder if I can almost do the face like autumn colored so that it doesn't look too much like, you know, Christmas colors. Since it is the red and green monster, I'm scared it's gonna look a bit dumb. I mean, I know it was Christmas a few days ago, but I don't want it to look too cheesy. Too much like mistletoe and holly. It's like it won't when I sculpt it, but the coloration is going to be difficult to pull off without it looking correct. So I think I'll do subtle, like maybe a fading green to orange, almost like fall colors. And then I'm not sure what I'm going to do for the legs yet. It doesn't actually have legs, it just has like a giant skirt thing, which I'm going to try to make look very branchy and leafy. Because I think that's what they saw. That's the prevailing theory, but, you know. Could be other things, but I think that's what it might be. Do it on the other side. Hey, stick on there. Don't come off on my hand. Okay, stay. Let's branch this way. I have this problem every time I do leaf veining. I should probably look at an actual picture, but I'm already kind of too far in, so we're just gonna keep going with this. Try to make it look right. Yeah, all of the other depictions, he does not have a mouth, or if he does, I saw somebody doing it beak-like, making him look like a bird. I'm assuming because of the prevailing theory that it was actually a barn owl that they saw. I almost said an owlbear. I have D&D brain right now. But because it was a barn owl, most likely, I saw someone doing that, but most of the depictions, it doesn't even have a mouth. But I don't know, I feel like he should have a mouth. I really feel like he should have a mouth, so we're gonna stick with that. And I like this weird beaky, slightly monkey mouth that I have going on. There we go. Ooh, I have another idea. Hold on. Finish this right here, the veining. I should make it track like veins into the center of his head. Alright. Stay put. Stay put. Thank you. Okay, so now, let's see what it looks like if I do something like this. Yeah. Stay put. There we go. So let's angle it up a little more. Down. Yeah, he was so basic. I was like, I wanted to make him more interesting because it's a cool monster, but all the depictions are super basic and simple, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but I don't know, I just wanted to give myself more stuff to paint later. Instead of it just being like, oh, giant red head, or giant red face, round head. That's it. Green skirt, green headdress. That's it. Yeah, I'm trying to make it more like this is like his face or something, his skin. But it's plant-like. Okay, we're gonna tilt that upward as well. Yeah. Cooperate, little pieces of clay. There we go. One more on this side. Okay. One more. Now I get to do this on the back of the head. Yeah. This is going to take a long time. But that's fine. That way the head has some details. Instead of just being flat. I think I want to do more things like this. And then I need one little teeny one for this one. Since I decided to have the tiny one. Sorry, I know my voice is starting to go down. in volume. There we go. Okay. I need to sit and stop standing. Alright. Okay, that is. Let me stick him this way so you can see him better. The beginning. Alright, now we gotta do the underside of his head. We're gonna do the same design. Same concept. He is not very balanced, but... Oh no, that's a ladybug. How did that get there? Okay. But I'm gonna do the same concept. Go. I think I'll do the central pieces and then add the little branching parts later. Try to match it up to this, roughly to this part of the head, so it looks similar. Oops. Alright. Okay. Alright, one more for this side. Oh, maybe two more. I think I did two. Yeah, I did two, so we're gonna do two more. Or maybe not. I don't know. That looks pretty good for a base. Then we add all of the branching pieces, the veining, I guess, as it were. See that? I'm sorry, it tilts backwards, so it's awkward to point it at the camera and do it. So if I do that, I'll be holding onto the face a little too much and I might smash it. So I will tilt it every couple minutes or so you can see what I've done. But it's the same concept of what I just did. Just lots more. Okay. Little more. Alright, so there we go. I got one side finished. And I think I'll do the veining on the head toward the center of the back of the head, kind of like I did on the front. I think that'll look good. I just gotta finish. Excuse me. I'm very tired. I haven't had time to do much artwork lately, and I hadn't had the money for supplies until fairly recently. But hopefully I can keep doing these. I like doing them, even though nobody watches them. It's still fun. I will do clips, I think. I just have yet to find a decent editing software that's not expensive and doesn't put like stupid little advertisements everywhere. Like, I understand why they do that, but I'd rather not. I'd rather my video be nice and clear and clean. And I need to do TikTok edits as well for all of these. But I just haven't gotten around to it because it's a lot of work. And I haven't the time, unfortunately. Alright, almost done here. There we go. So there's the veining on the back of the head, just like the stuff on the front of the head. But we're gonna do some quick lines here through the center that match that. One more. Alright, we're almost done with the back of the head. Okay. Pink. There we go. That's what the back of the head looks like. This is what the front of the head looks like. Pretty cool. Oh, okay. I can do this. I do genuinely feel like I'm going to fall asleep, though. I have been doing way too much baking and food prepping today. Okay. We got his head finished. I'm gonna go about... This is the part I wasn't sure about. I wasn't sure how I want to do the lower half. I think I'll do the skirt first because he's a little unbalanced at the moment. And he's starting to like want to rock around a little bit. I think I don't know how I want to do the skirt. I could just do it super loose and flowy. I think I might try that. So we'll make this incredibly thin and we'll do like a wraparound. So move him back a little so he's out of the way. And we'll try to flatten this as much as possible. trying to make this thin as I can. Okay. I'm not sure how I can really effectively do the pleating unless... Let's make it even thinner. Let's see if I can make this really thin. Okay, if I make it any thinner, it's probably gonna tear. Okay. You can get some of the ridges. If I do it layered, that might be interesting. I think I'll do that just because of not knowing quite how to do this effectively. So, yeah. Working on it. We're getting there. Let me flatten this out and we'll do a second layer. And then I'll see if I can do his little talon arms. And then we'll just do whatever I'm gonna do for the shoulder pad piece, whatever. That looks sometimes metallic, but I think I kind of like the person who did it feathered. A little bit. And let me stick him here so you can still see him. There we go. that's, yes, we have enough fabric here that I can do this, this. Yeah, I don't know how else to make it slightly pleated. This may not be quite the look, but I think it's close enough. It'll look kind of cool. Because there's really not much else at the base of the monster. So, we're gonna give him lots of fancy pleating. Yeah. Okay, so now he's got to have some long, spindly arms. I may need to grab. Debating here. I may need to grab some wire or something to give him some sturdiness on his arms. Okay, we'll see. So I want his arms to be very thin. Oops, I need to do that. Kind of branching. Maybe not. Actually, I might be able to make these sturdy enough so that they don't fall on their own. Okay. I'm not going to make them too long. I think I'll just make them like this length. I'm trying to go for the talon because I'll add like talons. If I do this, I'll add like talons to it maybe. So you can see, I don't know if I showed the plating very well, but yeah, pleated. He's gonna have a headdress to hide that kind of nasty part at the top that I didn't blend in. That was intentional. It's because I'm gonna cover it, so there's no point. Alright, I think I'll do this, but I want to flatten out these pieces so I can join them to the edges. And I think instead of doing talon markings, I want to make it branched like. Where is my... okay. Almost like wood pieces, you know? I'll do it fairly deep. Wood pattern. He's reminding me, for some reason when I do these arms, he's making me think of the Skull Kid. I think it's probably because I'm just thinking about Majora's Mask, but... there we go. Nice branch-like arms. And like I said, we'll hide most of this under like a shoulder pad kind of thing. Okay, this like branches as well. Okay, put this on here. And next up. Alright, so now we're going to give him some talent. So this is what we got so far. Give him some talons. I think 2 clawed talons with like a thumb, so like a, almost like a raptor claw, I guess. That should be good. Then I think I'll do feathers around the shoulders, maybe. Ooh, so tired. Okay. Or maybe just the 2 talons. I think I'm getting lazy. Just do the 2 talons. No, I should do the bottom talon, because then it makes it look more like a bird talon thing going on. We'll do it like this, and then I'll need the opposite. Ooh. I found keeping things symmetrical is easier if you do it in segments. So instead of putting it on, I'll like do this part of the talon, I'll copy what I did, and then I can get them roughly the same size so that they don't look too unsymmetrical. Because I used to do like one ear, and then I do the other ear, I do one hand, and then I do the other hand, and then they don't look quite right. Because they're different sizes, you know, because it's hard to match just by eyeballing everything. So I started waiting and trying to make sure I gotta make these ready to receive the talons. And then I gotta do the bottom, the equivalent of, I guess, what would be a thumb. Go. There's just one little hand. Yeah, I may have to prop these up a bit because they're tending to fall down. All right. All right. Okay. Yeah, I'll have to put something to prop his fingers up, but that's all right. Normally it's smarter to do like a wire armature of some kind, but I kind of didn't do that. It's a little too late, so I'll just prop them up when I bake them with like a stick or something. It'll be fine. Alright, so we got this. He's got his little armies, his little claws. Now we gotta do the shoulder pads. Maybe I should do individual feather pieces. Yeah, I like the idea of feathers for this. That isn't the traditional, but I don't know. I think it fits. I think I can make it work. Put it there so you can see what I'm doing. Yeah, so maybe just a bunch of different ones, different sizes, or roughly the same size. We'll put them around his shoulders. And then we should actually be finished, almost, with him. Okay, there's two of them. almost finished here. Center. I don't actually know what this is called. It's the quill part or the hard part of the feather. I can't think of the name of it at the moment. I should probably do this with a knife. Back over, yeah, because that looks neater. Okay. As you can see, I'm not being particularly precise, but it usually turns out fine. When you add paint to stuff like this, it'll pick up all of the tiny little grooves and details when you do dry brushing. Yeah, I think the combination of both this and the knife made it look better. I should probably do, I think, 5 of these. So 2 more, see how that goes. I think that'll be enough. Hopefully that's enough. If not, I've got plenty more clay right now, so. I've been trying so hard to not make random noises while doing this. It's a bad habit of mine. Okay. Went my one of my tools. I gotta pick it up. Hold on. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Let's do 1 more. Actually, let's do 6. I think I might need 6. That seems right. Yeah, I only saw one with the feather side, but like I said, the shoulder pads and stuff, the shoulder whatever piece over there, I don't know what to call it right now. I'm very tired. But normally they were metallic, but I don't recall seeing that in the description of what the people actually saw. So I'm assuming it was like the later sensationalization when they were like, oh, it's a UFO, it's an alien. Because the original one didn't say anything about that. It just said tall, man-like shape with a round red face and a pleated green skirt and a weird shaped head. So I don't think it's too far out to do the feathers. I kind of like the feathers. And I saw one piece of artwork that did that. I'm like, oh, that looks cool. I like that. So I'm going to do that just because, I mean, it's fantasy. I can do what I want. But I try to pick a reason for when I'm doing cryptids or monsters. I try to pick semi-traditional. I try to use not completely my own ideas. I want to base it off of something. But there we go. We got that one. 1 more. And then I think we have enough to cover his shoulders. And then he'll be done. Our little Braxy, or our little Flatwoods monster. Our little West Virginia cryptid. It's overshadowed by the Mothman. I think Mothman's probably the most popular, one of the most popular United States cryptids. At least it's the one I hear the most about. But I like this little guy. He's interesting. And he appears in my favorite video game, which is just bonus points. Alright, let's see what we can do here. Let's do the little one. The little ones. I think we'll do it around his shoulders. Hold on. We'll do it like that. So, like that on his shoulder. It's the other big one. Yeah, we'll do that. No, I think, yeah, we'll continue with the angled pieces. I like the angled pieces. I think maybe I'll put a brooch or something. I don't know. I'll put something in the front. Okay. He's looking much more woodsy and much less alien, but that's fine. I kind of like it. I think I'll do that. Okay, so we need at least 2 more for the back. And then maybe 1 little one for the front. Little tiny one. Yeah, we'll do a little tiny one for the front. Hold on. And then 2 bigger ones for the back. And then I think we'll be done. Little one right there. Here we go. Right there. See how that looks? Yeah. Here's our little Flatwoods monster. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna cheat. I'm just gonna do 1 large fat one in the back because I don't feel like doing anymore. I want to be finished. Okay. I love sculpting, but usually at this point it's like, I'm done. I would like to finish. I've actually not been, this one's only been 1.5 hours, I think. That's pretty good. I'm usually much slower than that. So, not bad. Much better than usual. I knew my sculptures usually took somewhere from like 3 to 4 hours, so for a 2-hour sculpture, that is much faster. I'm not even at 2 hours, I'm only at like 1.5 hours. Much faster than usual. I did take a little time to warm up the clay, but that only took me like 10 minutes, I think. Some of these are looking more like leaves, and that's fine. I think having the confusion between the leaves and the feathers is fine. Because it's probably realistic to what they saw when there was whatever they saw. It's probably a combination of things. Alright. I feel like I need a band around the neck to hide. Alright, we can do a metallic band around the neck. I think if I do a long chain and then make it square-like, I can do a metallic chain. That way we can get a little bit of the metal look in there. Alright, let's make this super long. Will that go around his neck? Oh, that's it. Let's make it longer. Yes, it will. Okay. So, I think what we're gonna do back here? Oh, there we go. Do this lightly. Okay, and we're going to do this, 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 this. Okay, that looks cool. What if I do little, like, screws or something every other? Hold on. That. Every other one. I think I'll do every other one. As we all know, aliens have flathead screwdrivers. Clearly. Or should we do the crosses? Should we do the Phillips head, maybe? Do they have Phillips head screwdrivers? I'm not sure which ones aliens would have. I usually go with flathead. I don't know, it feels more retro. Actually, yeah, it should be flathead, because if they did actually see anything metallic, which I didn't see that in the description, but I see that in the artwork, then I think it would have been flathead. I'm actually not sure what year they started using the star head ones. Still too long, but that's fine. Okay, we're gonna go with flathead screwdriver. Because aliens definitely have screwdrivers. Maybe we won't do that. Maybe we can do that. That piece. There we go. He's got his little metallic necklace chain thing, kind of hiding some of the joins there that I didn't like. Alright, so there is my take on the Flatwoods monster. Combination of owl leaves and some cloth. But I think he's pretty cute. That was my goal. And he's got the main thing is the head and the big eyes, so I think I did okay with that. I really like him. He's pretty cute. It's the back, you can see that. So I hope to paint him sometime soon. I'm not sure exactly when. I was supposed to get him done in December, and I did not, because I was busy. And I've been sick for the past couple weeks, but anyway, I will be painting him hopefully in the coming weeks. That will make another video, and I will try to still do one for January, because this was technically, I was trying to do one a month, so this was the one I was going to do for December. But I think he's cute. I'm pretty happy with him. But yeah, that is the Flatwoods monster, at least my artistic take on it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please interact. I am trying to get somewhere with the artwork, and I really love making these little guys. So if you enjoyed it, let me know, comment, interact somehow. That helps me out a lot. And thank you so much for watching.